I paid for these. Here's the receipt.
No, you didn't. I watched you walk right past the register.
Ma'am, I rang him up at register too. The purchase is in the system.
I don't care what your system says. I know what I saw.
Hashtag Karen calls cops on black teen for stolen sneakers. Store employee confirms purchase. $220,000 lawsuit. 16-year-old Jamal Thompson sat on the bench outside Foot Locker at Riverside Mall, carefully placing his brand-new Air Jordan sneakers into the shoebox while his older brother Marcus waited nearby with their shopping bags from other stores. Both teenagers completely unaware that a middle-aged white woman named Patricia Henderson had been watching them for the past 5 minutes and had already decided, based on absolutely nothing except seeing two young black males with expensive sneakers, that they must have stolen the shoes and needed to be reported to security immediately. Jamal had saved money from his part-time job at the local grocery store for 3 months, working after school and weekends bagging groceries and helping customers, specifically to purchase these particular Jordans that cost $189.99 plus tax. And he'd been so excited when the Foot Locker employee told him they finally had his size in stock that he'd asked if he could put them on right away and carry his old sneakers in the box instead. The employee, a young man named Deshaun Williams who'd worked at Foot Locker for 2 years and dealt with plenty of shoplifters during that time, had watched Jamal pay for the shoes with cash he counted out carefully at the register, had personally handed Jamal the receipt, had helped him swap the shoes, and had even complimented Jamal on his choice before the teenager left the store with his purchase properly paid for and documented. Patricia Henderson, a 53-year-old real estate agent who lived in the upscale Riverside Heights neighborhood and apparently appointed herself the unofficial mall security monitor, saw none of this transaction but was absolutely convinced, based solely on her racist assumptions that young black males with expensive items must be criminals, that she was witnessing a theft, and within 60 seconds of observing Jamal putting on his legally purchased sneakers, Henderson had her phone out calling mall security to report what she described as two young black males, probably teenagers, who just stole expensive Air Jordan sneakers from Foot Locker and are sitting right outside the store wearing the stolen merchandise like they think they got away with it. What Henderson didn't know, what her biased brain refused to consider as she made her false accusation, was that Jamal Thompson was an honor student at Riverside High School with a 3.8 GPA who tutored younger students after school when he wasn't working his grocery store job, that his brother Marcus was a college sophomore home for spring break who'd driven Jamal to the mall specifically so his younger brother could finally buy the shoes he'd worked so hard to afford, that Deshaun, the Foot Locker employee, would immediately verify the legitimate purchase when questioned, that the store's security cameras had captured the entire transaction showing Jamal paying cash and receiving his receipt, and most importantly for Henderson's future bank account, that this false accusation would result in mall security and police responding to her bogus report, Jamal being publicly detained and humiliated in front of dozens of shoppers who recorded the entire encounter on their phones. The viral video reaching 92 million views and sparking outrage about racial profiling of teenagers, and a civil rights lawsuit filed by the Thompson family that would cost Henderson $220,000 in settlement plus legal fees when her insurance company saw the devastating evidence and advised her that fighting the case would only result in an even larger jury verdict against her. Henderson's decision to call security on a teenager who had committed no crime other than being black, while wearing nice shoes would destroy her reputation, cost her real estate clients when the video went viral and people refused to work with someone who racially profiled children, and make her a national symbol of Karen behavior targeting young black people for simply existing in public spaces while Henderson's victim, Jamal Thompson, would use the settlement money to establish a scholarship fund helping other students afford both college and the small luxuries, like a nice pair of sneakers, that every teenager should be able to enjoy without being accused of theft by racist strangers who can't imagine that black excellence and hard work exist. Before we continue, drop a comment with your location. If you believe teenagers should be able to buy sneakers without being racially profiled, hit that like button and subscribe. Jamal Thompson loved basketball. The 16-year-old junior at Riverside High School played point guard on the varsity team, maintained a 3.8 GPA despite a demanding schedule, and worked 15 to 20 hours weekly at Save Mart grocery store to earn spending money. His parents, both nurses at Riverside Medical Center, had raised Jamal and his older brother Marcus with strong values. Work hard, save money, earn what you want, treat people with respect. For 3 months, Jamal had been saving for one specific purchase: Air Jordan retro sneakers in the red and black colorway. They cost $189.99 plus tax. $205.74 total. Every paycheck from SaveMart, Jamal set aside money. He resisted spending on movies, fast food, video games. The Jordans were his goal. Last Friday, he'd finally saved enough. His brother Marcus, home from college for spring break, had offered to drive him to Riverside Mall on Saturday afternoon. Jamal had brought his money, mostly 20s and 10s, plus some 5s and 1s, in an envelope in his backpack. This was a big deal. His first major purchase with money he'd earned himself. They'd arrived at Foot Locker around 2:30 p.m. The store was moderately busy with the usual Saturday crowd. Jamal went straight to the Jordan display, found his size, and brought the box to the register where Deshaun Williams, a 24-year-old employee who'd worked at Foot Locker for 2 years, greeted him. "Good choice, man," Deshaun said, scanning the box. "These just came back in stock yesterday. That'll be $205.74. Jamal pulled out his envelope and carefully counted the cash. $200 bills. 1 5, 3 quarters. The exact amount. Bills crisp and organized because he'd been to the bank that morning to get clean bills. Deshaun processed the transaction, printed the receipt, and handed both the receipt and the shoebox to Jamal. "You want to wear them out?" Jamal's face lit up. "Can I?" "Absolutely. Happens all the time." Jamal sat on the bench right outside the store, took off his old Nike sneakers, worn-out running shoes he'd had for 2 years, and carefully put on the new Jordans. They fit perfectly. He stood up, looked down at them, smiled. 3 months of work right there on his feet. He placed his old sneakers in the Jordan box, tucked the receipt in his pocket, and joined Marcus, who'd been waiting with bags from the sporting goods store they'd visited earlier. "Looking good, little bro," Marcus grinned. "Now you just need to work on your jump shot." They were laughing, planning to grab food at the food court, when mall security approached. "Excuse me, gentlemen." The security officer, a middle-aged man named Tom Rodriguez, said professionally. "We received a report of stolen merchandise. Can I ask where you got those shoes?" Jamal's smile faded. "What? I bought them. Right here at Foot Locker. Like 2 minutes ago. Do you have a receipt?" Jamal reached into his pocket and pulled out the receipt, still crisp. "Here. I just bought them." Rodriguez examined the receipt. It clearly showed the purchase. Air Jordan Retro, size 10.5, $189.99 plus tax. Total $205.74. Transaction time 2:34 p.m. 6 minutes ago. Cash payment. Everything legitimate. "This looks valid," Rodriguez said, handing it back. "But I need to verify with the store. Someone called and said they witnessed a theft." "A theft?" Marcus stepped forward, his voice rising. "My brother just bought those shoes. Who said we stole something? I can't disclose who made the report, but I need to confirm the purchase. It'll just take a minute." By now, people were staring. Jamal felt his face burning with embarrassment. He hadn't done anything wrong, but he was being treated like a criminal in front of the whole mall. Rodriguez stepped into Foot Locker and spoke with Deshaun, who immediately confirmed the purchase. "Yeah, that kid just bought those Jordans maybe 5 minutes ago. Paid cash. I helped him myself. He didn't steal anything." Rodriguez nodded, stepped back outside, and was about to tell the brothers they were free to go when 2 Riverside police officers arrived. Mall security had followed protocol and called police for a reported theft. Officer Jennifer Walsh and Officer Kevin Morrison approached the scene. By now, a small crowd had gathered. Multiple people had their phones out, recording. "What's the situation?" Walsh asked Rodriguez. "We got a call about stolen merchandise. The subject has a valid receipt. The store employee confirms he made a legitimate purchase about 10 minutes ago. Appears to be a false report." Walsh turned to Jamal. "Can I see the receipt?" Jamal handed it over again, his hands shaking slightly. He'd never been in trouble with police before. This was humiliating. Walsh examined the receipt. Radio dispatch to confirm there had been no theft reported by Foot Locker itself, and was about to clear the call when a woman's voice cut through the crowd. He stole those shoes. I saw him. He didn't buy them. Everyone turned. Patricia Henderson pushed through the small crowd, pointing at Jamal. She was a white woman in her early 50s, well-dressed in expensive casual wear, carrying designer shopping bags. "Ma'am, who are you?" Officer Walsh asked. "I'm Patricia Henderson. I called security. I watched these two." She gestured at Jamal and Marcus. "Leave that store with expensive sneakers. Young people like that don't have money for shoes that expensive. They clearly stole them." Jamal's jaw dropped. "Young people like that? What does that mean?" "Don't play dumb," Henderson snapped. "I know what I saw." Marcus stepped forward, his voice tight with controlled anger. "My brother saved money from his job for 3 months to buy those shoes. He has a receipt. The store employee confirmed he paid. What exactly did you see that makes you think he stole them?" Henderson's face reddened. "I saw him sitting out here putting them on. Thieves do that. They wear the stolen merchandise out of the store to avoid carrying the box." Deshawn, the Foot Locker employee, had come outside when he heard the commotion. "Excuse me, I'm the one who sold him those shoes. He asked if he could wear them out of the store. I said yes. It's completely normal. He paid cash. I gave him his receipt. He's done nothing wrong." Henderson pointed at Deshawn. "You're covering for him. You probably let your friends steal merchandise." Deshawn's expression hardened. "Lady, I don't know this kid. He's a customer, paying customer, and you need to stop making accusations." Officer Walsh held up her hand. "Ma'am, this young man has a receipt showing he purchased these shoes 12 minutes ago. The store employee confirms the sale. The store's security footage will show the transaction. On what basis are you claiming theft occurred?" Henderson stammered. I saw him. He looked suspicious." "Suspicious how?" Walsh pressed. "What specific behavior did you observe that indicated theft?" "He was putting on the shoes outside the store. With the employee's permission, which is normal," Walsh interrupted. "Did you witness him taking merchandise without paying? Did you see him conceal items? Did you observe any actual criminal behavior?" Henderson had no answer. Marcus spoke up, his voice clear and firm for the gathered crowd and recording phones. "She saw 2 young black males with expensive sneakers and assumed we stole them. That's it. That's her evidence. She profiled my brother based on his race and age." Several people in the crowd murmured agreement. The young woman who'd been recording the longest called out, "That's exactly what happened. She's racist." Officer Walsh turned to Henderson. "Ma'am, filing a false police report is a crime. Making baseless accusations against innocent people wastes law enforcement resources and causes harm. Do you understand that?" Henderson's face went from red to pale. I was trying to help. I thought." "You thought what?" Jamal finally spoke up, tears of frustration in his eyes. "You thought I couldn't afford to buy nice shoes? You thought because I'm black I must be a thief? I work 15 hours a week bagging groceries after school. I saved for 3 months. I did everything right. And you tried to get me arrested because you can't imagine that someone who looks like me could earn something nice." The crowd's murmuring grew louder, supportive of Jamal. Several people were still recording. This was clearly going to end up online. Officer Walsh made a decision. "Ma'am, I'm issuing you a citation for making a false police report. You wasted law enforcement resources and caused emotional distress to this young man through baseless accusations." Henderson's eyes widened. "You're citing me? I was trying to prevent theft." "No, ma'am, you were profiling. There's a difference." The Thompson family filed a civil lawsuit 3 weeks later when the video had gone viral with 92 million views. The footage was devastating to any defense Henderson might mount. Clear shots of Jamal's receipt being examined multiple times. Deshaun, explicitly confirming the legitimate purchase. Henderson's statements caught on multiple cameras. Young people like that don't have money for shoes that expensive. Her accusation that Deshaun was covering for his friends, implying a racial connection between the employee and customer who'd never met. Jamal's tearful explanation about working and saving the crowd's supportive reaction to Jamal and condemnation of Henderson. The lawsuit sought $500,000 in damages for defamation, false accusation, intentional infliction of emotional distress, and violation of civil rights under state law. Henderson's homeowner's insurance initially planned to fight the case until their attorneys reviewed the viral videos, witness statements, and the court of public opinion already firmly against their client. They advised settlement. The case settled for $220,000 plus Henderson's agreement to complete anti-bias training and issue a public apology. Henderson's real estate career suffered immediate consequences. When clients learned she was the woman from the viral video who'd racially profiled a teenager, many refused to work with her. Her firm, trying to avoid association with the controversy, mutually agreed to part ways with her. She now works part-time doing administrative work for a small property management company. Jamal Thompson, meanwhile, became an unexpected advocate. He spoke at school assemblies about his experience. He testified before the city council about racial profiling. And he used the settlement money to establish the Walk in Their Shoes Scholarship Fund, providing financial assistance to students of color pursuing education and work opportunities. 2 years later, Jamal is a high school senior with multiple college acceptance letters and a full scholarship to his top choice. He still works at SaveMart now as a shift supervisor. And he still has those Air Jordans. He wears them to important events as a reminder that he earned them through hard work and that no one's racist assumptions could take that achievement away from him. Patricia Henderson's name is forever linked to the viral video. A Google search returns dozens of articles about her false accusation. It's become a case study in implicit bias training, used in diversity workshops to illustrate how racist assumptions harm innocent people. The lesson is clear. Black teenagers work hard. They save money. They buy nice things because they've earned them. And people who see young black people with possessions and immediately assume theft rather than achievement will face consequences, legal, financial, and social, that reflect the serious harm caused by racial profiling. If you believe teenagers deserve to enjoy their purchases without racist accusations, share Jamal's story. And subscribe for more accounts where profiling meets accountability.